Welcome to Cuphead and Mugman, a run-and-gun indie game developed and produced by Studio MDHR. This game is designed to look like the 1930s, with the Disney-esque look and the rubber hose animation, but is also inspired by an art movement that happened during the 1920s to the 30s, the art movement of Surrealism. The game has very many indicators that it was inspired by the Surrealist movement, from the crazy and out-there characters to the level design. The point that heavily proves that the game was inspired by the Surrealist movement is that Chad Moldenhauer, one of the creators of the game, said that back in the 1920s, the creators made the animations as surreal cartoons just to make it. So when they made the game, that's the look they wanted to go for. The characters could have been inspired by certain pieces of artwork, like the flower boss has a face, could have been inspired by this work by Jim Sanangos. The picture instantly reminds me of Cuphead, where the flower is shooting things out of its mouth and has hands made of its leaves. There's another enemy that is an onion and a carrot, which reminds me of this work by Gennady, and where the apple has an evilish look, it has the same look as both of the enemies. Making a boss out of food could have been inspired by this work. The last enemy is the Phantom Express. He is a blue enemy that has an eye that can move from his head to his hands. Besides the fact that this villain looks like the monster from Labyrinth, it also looks like the painting by Dolores Lewis, where there's a hand with an eye in the center. This is just the one that I found of many, but I just thought it was the best one. And my final point is using the character Legendary Chalice. She to me resembles the artwork of Scissors that looks like a couple dancing, created by Salvador Dali. The top part of both the art and the character are a woman with the torso and arms, but the bottom is a legless, more dressed kind of look. I do think that this character could have been inspired by Dali. I believe the creators used the art movement Surrealism because it's a very unique art movement to use. It allows them to have free range in creating the characters that they want to look how they want it to. And the creators needed that when they decided that they wanted to make a game look like the 1930s. So if a game has ever been inspired by an art movement before, which I'm sure many have, then Cuphead and Mugman was definitely inspired by the Surrealist movement of the 1930s.